From the Hanging with Web Show TV's Bargain Basement Studio in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, it's Pillow Talk with Willow Schuyler.
Will you take me to Winnipeg?
I will, someday. Toronto, Montreal, Quebec, Winnipeg.
Now what's this guy doing up here in Manitoba?
He was holding the map up.
Every salvage mission that's been through this system has disappeared. Even those old pirates out at Winnipeg Drift say it's cursed.
Cursed. Winnipeg's got a great ballet. You'll have a good time, I swear to God.
Sweet guinea pig of Winnipeg! They've taken over our company!
Balderdash! I never agreed to that!
I should have stayed in Winnipeg, you know? I had a nice gallery, 3 paintings in the wall.
Are you kidding? And you look back. Born home, Quebec. Drafted out of the juniors in the 5th round to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Played for a year with the Leafs, then traded to the Winnipeg Jets, then to Calgary, then to Boston.
Wow. So Winnipeg must get pretty cold up there.
That's it! Back to Winnipeg!
Hello, everybody. It is Willow's Pillow Talk. I am your host, Willow Schuyler. With me today is Carl Winsman.
Hello.
So, Carl, tell me about your day before I go off on that.
Well, first, I'd like to say on your introduction, you know that at the end, that guy and that gal are sitting there, and he says, "So Winnipeg," and she gets this look on her face like, "I know where this is going." He's gonna say he gets called up there, not a.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know, actually, well, it's funny today. Like the last couple days has been kind of rainy, and today, yeah, it was definitely a sweater kind of day. And it's like, oh well, I guess we're in our rainy season.
okay, yeah, just like that. That's climate change for you. You ask about my day. I have a little story I could tell you.
Absolutely, go for it.
Okay, so when we moved into this house, we had this old fence in the back around our patio area, and it was not a great fence. And over the years, it's gotten worse and worse, and it was partially falling down. The neighbor had said something one day, and he got really upset, because it was falling down, sort of part of, not really badly. It was like leaning like this in one spot, still attached, but whatever. So he comes over the other day and says, "I'm going to put a new fence in between us." Okay. And he says, because I was going to put a new fence in, but that's okay. But I need your permission to just push your fence back on your property. So, because it's going to lean into mine. I'm like, okay. Or I have a guy who will tear down your old fence for $250. Okay. Now, well, I had somebody else tell me $500 to tear down the fence. So I said, $250, go for it, buddy. So they tore down the fence, put up a new fence exactly like the one I wanted to put up. And I didn't have to pay for that. So it really pays to be an annoying neighbor. So I'm having a great day.
Oh, awesome. So I know you posted up a picture of your neighbor's fence posts.
Yeah. It's all done now. Tomorrow you'll get to see the whole picture of the whole fence, or the guy at least finishing it.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
Looks great. And they can't see into my yard, which is even better because, they don't need to be seeing in there.
So your wife is watching, so we're going to have to behave.
Not really, no. She's more disappointed.
You're welcome to join us, Donna. Good to see you, Ryan. Brian's here. How's it going, bud? Now we shouldn't be requesting who should be on my show because the show has never been on the reels to begin with.
I was gonna say. Willow Schuyler Productions don't have that. But if Jerome wants in here, yeah.
Yeah, I sent him the link.
Yeah, come on out.
So today was an interesting day. So I worked this morning, 6:30 in the morning till noon or 12:30, whatever. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go get my CT scan because that was ordered on Friday. Get down to it. I'm not making the name of this hospital up, guys. It's called the Misericordia Hospital. It lives up to its name.
Yeah.
We do call it misery. But it's not spelt misery. But yeah, you get the point. Yeah. Anyway, so I get down to the Misericordia Hospital. And I, like a dumbass, I forgot my paperwork for my CT scan. I had my husband's schedule, so apparently that's important for me to carry around now.
You just saw. I have papers. I'm okay.
I have papers.
They're not the right papers, but what the hell? Give me a scan.
So,
were they running out of scans? Was that the problem? And they only, you can't have a scan without your paper.
I guess. Okay. So I go all the way home. I take the bus. I go all the way home, get my paperwork, go back down to the Miz. And so they tell me I get into the front door, and of course the orderly is there to greet me, tell me to sanitize and change my mask. So, okay, do that. And while I'm changing the mask, he's giving me the whole spiel of, have you left the country? Have you gone to another province? Have you had COVID in the last 14 days? Blah, 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 right? Like, no, right?
Did they ask you all that the first time you were down there?
No, because I didn't actually go into the door before. Okay. I wanted to make sure that I wanted to hand them my paperwork.
I thought, yeah, dude. By the time since I talked to you, an hour ago, I left the country and came back.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. So go ahead.
The guy tells me, okay, you're welcome to proceed and go to the front desk. So I go to the front desk. Go to hand them the paperwork, and they're like, oh, okay, so you are here for a CT scan. You're going to have to go to the other desk, sign in there. I'm like, okay, so I go. They're like, okay, you're here for a scan, for a CT scan. You're going to have to go now. You're approved. Now you have to go back to the other desk to get questioned there again. I don't know why.
You might have.
So so she fills out my paperwork for that, and then they sent me back to the other. I was like, seriously. Like, the amount of time that I was there just going back and forth, I could have gone and did the scan. Mm-hmm. They should have just had a full body, scan right then and there.
They need to learn off of your main work and like put in a drive-through scan or something.
Yeah.
Just stick your head out the window of your car and we'll scan you and you'll be back.
And yes, I actually did get in and get the CT scan done. But here's the kicker. The girl, after I got it, like, I was in there, I felt like this at first, this like little air thing come up and like squeeze my head. I was like, oh, that's an interesting thing.
They want you moving around.
And then they told me to close my eyes, and so I hear this thing going, and then about 5 minutes later, I can feel myself move out, and the girl's like, okay, you're done. I'm like, that's it? She goes, yeah, have a good day. I'm like, that's it?
You're not going to get a ding like the microwave?
So this was it was just like so uneventful.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. And for the hassle to go into this place.
Right. They should just give everybody a scan. Just, everybody come on down on Wednesday. We're all going to get a scan. We'll figure out, the
What's wrong with your head?
If we find something wrong with your head, you will be notified.
But I mean, just for like the hassle of going there, just for it only to be like a few seconds and be like, okay, you're done, bye.
Yeah, because we know healthcare is a very limited commodity, so you can't just give it to everybody.
But I mean, like the guy who was in there before me, I can hear him having great conversations with the ladies, and they're laughing, and then for me, it's like, bye, have a good day. Where's my sucker?
She's not even going to flirt with you because you weren't a guy, so off you go. For those who, I'm sure most of your fans know what happened. But,
yeah, okay. So
it wasn't just getting a brain scan for just any reason.
I should have had a brain scan a long time ago, folks. But the reason why I went to the hospital for a CT scan was because last month I decided to kiss the concrete. I'm trying to run for my bus, and I trip. Face first, and so this lovely nose decided to hit full force. I'm 5'6", so yeah, do the math. 5'6", hitting the concrete face first.
I was worried because your sunglasses or your glasses had pushed so hard into your face that you had rings under your eyes, and it looked.
I had like a butterfly bruise. It was insane.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that part. You must have covered that up or something. But yeah, it looked really scary, and I thought, oh God, how did she not get some sort of close head injury?
Oh yeah, it was. I was beautiful for like 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, you're a trooper. You're like, I'm fine. I'm going to work. I stopped the blood. I'm okay.
You know what? It's funny because I didn't even bleed for that long. I bled for maybe like a minute or so, and then I'm just like, okay, it's done. Okay. And so, and then I'm just like, okay, so I know my name. I know what day it is. I can work. I can go to work.
You're doing better than me. I didn't know what day it was either. So I mean, you're doing good.
So that was the funny thing. Like last Friday, I went to the doctor because the last time I had a migraine, the headache stuck around. So I'm just like, okay, so I should probably go see a doctor because I need to figure this out. And so went to the walk-in clinic on Friday, and the girl's like, "Do you know what day it is?" I'm like, honestly, no. That doesn't mean that I have a concussion. I just honestly do not. I love my husband. He's like, well, it's like 2 days before our anniversary. I'm like, I wasn't thinking.
It was a trick question. Oh my God. Under the pressure, I was just like, okay. I know now what day it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I worked in rehabilitation, and I would always see medical reports and psychological reports. They always say oriented times 3, which means you know who you are, where you are, and what day it is.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Is it the 14th, 15th? What is it? If it wasn't payday, I didn't care.
Oh yeah.
But I because I made case notes, I had to do that. But other than that, yeah, whatever. So I thought if I'm ever found wandering around somewhere, they're going to go, oh, I don't know what day it is. Yeah, he's confused. Take him. Go.
So if I'm ever caught wandering around, it'll probably be like, let's just get you back to your husband.
Yeah. We are planning eventually to take a little trip to Germany, and we're learning a little German, but we sound like we're impaired. Okay, I'm just saying we're not the best, So I said, if we're taking, and the police don't speak English or whatever, we're going to be in some trouble. So the phrase I learned was "Wir waschen uns." "Wir waschen uns" means we can wash ourselves. Because I worked with persons with mental retardation for a long time.
Yeah.
And one of the classifications is, can they wash themselves or not? And you want to be in the right group. when they take you away. So we can wash ourselves.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because we were, me and Joe, we were talking about going to Germany and
yeah,
like, whoop. Okay, fine, be that way, whatever. Sorry, something popped up. Apparently, I got kicked off Twitter, so that's okay.
Okay. I thought Jerome popped in and said, "No, on second thought, no."
But yeah, no. Joe's grandparents are from Germany, and so we'd like to go visit where they're from, and so it's funny. Every so often, Joe's dad will say something in German, and then it's like we're just kind of like looking around, like what?
Yeah. Exactly.
You think that would be something that I picked up though, because of the fact that I have a German family as well, and well, my family's from the Ukraine as well. So. Oh
well, yeah. You can pick up a few words, but
yeah, I know how to say asshole. That doesn't help me.
Well, you never know. That could come in handy.
Of course, it's always the swear words that you learn first, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You need to know those right away, in case somebody says it to you, or you have to say it to somebody else, or
that and cow crap.
Okay.
Scheiss is always something that you like. Scheiss was one of the first words that I learned, and so when I heard that from my grandma, she goes, "Oh yeah, that's cow crap."
There you go. Could come in handy. You never know. In the weirdest, most inopportune time, probably.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, like any other sentence, I forget it.
That reminds me of our family trip to Canada. We actually went through Niagara Falls and all the way across. I don't know where we must have come out, but we went through a French-speaking province, if that helps.
I'm going to say Quebec.
Probably. And so we stop at a store for ice, and I'm asking the young man, "Do you have ice?" Ice. And I don't know. I think he thought I meant easy, ICEI, which is the word for here. So he's like, "Yeah." I mean, in his mind, "Yeah, you're here. What do you want?" Yeah. "Am I here?" "Yes, sir, you are." Americans, jeez. Yeah.
That's the thing about like some of the French-speaking areas, especially in my city. Like they're kind of, it's almost kind of like arrogant, where it's like if you don't speak it, they kind of.
Yeah. Well, that's the French part. We did not wish to speak with you. I am so tired from smoking cigarettes all night and making love.
But yet it's not real. It's not considered real French.
No. But it's like in people's minds,
if you speak high or lower than high school French, then you'll fit in quite nicely in Quebec.
Okay, there you go.
Go ahead and make fun of it all you want, folks. I don't care.
Is the chat even talking at all now?
They kind of are.
Okay.
So Dan came in a little bit late, but I think he got the gist of what happened. Everybody's saying hi.
Oh, yeah.
What is wrong with Carl?
I'm going to be on Ryan's show.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And I think
are they going to let Donna in Germany?
We hope. We hope. We don't know for sure. That's the one sticking point.
Well, I mean, you guys have the drinking down, so I think they'll consider you best friends.
Think of all the money we're going to spend over there, booze and cigars. I mean, we're taking one of those riverboat tours.
Oh, okay.
So actually, you pay for the riverboat and the Viking cruise.
Oh, okay.
And I should name names. Sorry, they're not a sponsor, are they? Okay. Anyway, you get on.
They are now.
Yeah, I guess so. Viking, send this lady a check, okay? So you get on there, and that's your hotel and your restaurant and your bar and whatever. And then they stop every once in a while and let you off to go look at a dusty old castle or injure yourself somehow in town. Then they get back to the boat and drink a bunch more beer and fall asleep on the boat, I guess. So that's gonna be kind of neat.
That sounds like so much fun, though.
Yeah. We hope so. I won't remember half of it.
Have you guys been on a cruise before?
No.
No.
No, I will not get on the water on a big boat. I've been on a rowboat in a lake, but I will not get out in the ocean anywhere. And so at least this way I'll be able to see the shore, look over, see the other shore. We're going to be okay.
Yeah.
I might be able to swim that far. Maybe.
Okay.
You get out in the ocean, you're looking out there going, oh, yeah, we're, if this thing turns over, we're messed up. Totally messed up. So.
Well, Winnipeg used to have what we called the paddle wheel queen. It was just a little, it was a nice ship, and it would run whenever the water actually was half decent.
Cool.
Of height. There was one time where, unfortunately, the paddle wheel got stuck under a bridge for a couple days. So
yeah,
that wasn't fun. I wasn't on it, but I mean, I could imagine that wasn't fun for the people on it at that time.
Crunch! Did you hear something? No, I didn't.
But no, I was I remember being on it a couple times as a kid, and then I was on it years ago when my foster mom got married.
Oh,
funny story about that. Yeah, I called my foster mom. This was before I stopped talking to her. I called her and found out she was getting married.
Oh, by the way.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's just like, okay, so am I able to, see you get married? You did raise me for 7 years of my life.
Oh, I got an invitation around here somewhere. Where was it? You found it.
So yeah, it was just like that explains to you so much of my relationship with my mom.
Yeah.
It's like I became such an afterthought after I moved out, and it's just like, okay, well, good seeing you. Good having you in my life.
We were kind of talking about that before show. Some people do well with children and don't do well with adults. Some people do better with adults and don't do well with children,
And some don't do either.
Well, yeah. Exactly.
But no, like I have a healthy outlook when it comes to my life. Like yes, I'm in therapy. Of course I would have to be in therapy, but no, but I laugh about it because if I didn't, it
you'd be crying.
I'd be miserable.
Yeah. You're doing it right because, it's all about your attitude and how you take it.
Yeah.
Like somebody today was saying something in another show about, I almost got hit by a semi. Okay. And he was like really upset with that. And I'm like, I would be, I didn't get hit by a semi. Wow. That was close.
Yeah.
I'm glad, it's all in your attitude and how you accept what happens in your life. And if you don't accept it with a bit of humor, it could hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, like, one of my favorite comedians is Christopher Titus. And like, if there's anybody who if anybody out there has a messed up family life, Christopher Titus is like the one who can relay your feelings quite nicely with that
perspective for you.
Yeah,
because a lot of comedic things are framing things, and putting them in a perspective, and then going, and this, boom.
But I mean, it was just one of those things where I grew up, I watched his show, and I'm just like, I'm not messed up.
Well, not any more than anybody else. That's normal to be messed up. It's not messed up if it's normal, right? I mean, if everybody's messed up.
It's the people who have the loving two-parent relationship with
you gotta worry about those. They are not prepared. They are not prepared for life. Those people, I knew I was.
I'm still not used to it. Like I love going to family gatherings with my husband, but I mean, to me, sometimes seeing two parents get along very well and be loving. I'm just like, I'm not used to it. 20 years later, I'm still not used to it.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Yeah. Donna reminds me, we've been on a riverboat too.
Okay.
There was like some 2-hour long thing where you could gamble on this boat, or you could watch the guy juggle and have a meal. And it was a good meal. It was a great meal, and the guy was a fantastic entertainer too. But I'm thinking at that time, maybe that's partially what pushed me into thinking I'd like to be a comedian and entertain people. I don't know if I want to, juggle on a riverboat that's going down the river. But who knows?
See, I've always thought of like the whole gambling thing on the riverboat, like that.
And they don't even go. And
I love you, Joe. But yes.
Hey, Joe. How you doing? You're okay. You're all right. You guys are okay. Just saying. Yeah. They don't. I don't know if that city still does their riverboat around or not. But we went to Peoria, and they have a huge riverboat there with the gambling on it and all. They don't even take it out in the river. They've got it nailed to the dock, so it won't float away. I'm like, how can this be legal? They nailed a restaurant to it. I mean, it's just, and I'm going in there. A friend of mine says, you got to go in there. I'm like, okay. And I'm picturing, because I had been in some other casino somewhere, but I was picturing, people dressed up, James Bond type stuff, playing Baccarat and all this stuff, No, there's a bunch of old people in there smoking and drinking and ching, 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 and the whole place stunk. And I was like, oh, yeah, this is a letdown. Get me out of here.
I think that would be awesome. Although I kind of would love to relive the Victorian days of doing that, where it's gambling on a riverboat and in Victorian outfits.
Sure, playing poker, wearing the hat.
Of course, that's the steampunk fan in me too. Yeah, so exactly. I should look into how much the paddle wheel queen has if it's still for sale. Yeah, that would be fun.
Get dressed up, go down there, get a couple pictures. Yeah.
But then I'd have to take out a loan, and if I'm going to take out a loan, I might as well buy the house.
True.
But that's where I'm at. So many things that I've been thinking about doing in my life, and then you get, it's like those moments where especially you this morning, I'm going to start a band.
Yeah. I was in a band once. I really was. When I was younger, I was in a band. We had a gig. It got canceled, but we practiced a lot in someone's basement, and we called ourselves the Subterraneans.
Oh, interesting.
Because we were underground in the basement. and we played way too loud for me anyway.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. It's
Were you guys a rock band or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
And we
were what instrument did you play?
Well, I play keyboards.
Oh, okay.
I used to play saxophone, but there's not much call in rock bands for saxophone player.
Hey.
But I play keyboards. So.
Oh, okay.
Had a little Wurlitzer or whatever that somebody's sister wasn't playing or something, and I got to play that. So yeah, that was fun. And like I say, I was in a band, rock band.
Oh, that's cool.
Now it would be like they'd be like, "Is that one of the Grateful Dead? They're just not quite dead yet." Grateful we're not dead. That's what we should call ourselves. Ted said something one time, and during one of our little Friday night things, and we said something about I'd worked in rehab, and I think it was about the imposter syndrome. So I said something to Brian K. Morris about imposter syndrome, and he told somebody else, and that helped them. And I said, "Oh, it's kind of a trickle down effect of rehab," And so that's why we came up with the band name, because Ted said that's a great band name, Trickle Down Rehab.
Oh yeah,
you have to grab that one real quick. So I said okay, and we had a friend that. This morning she posted a picture of herself.
I saw the picture.
I saw that. That was a good one. And she wanted it taken down. So I had to take it down. But it was a great picture of her. And I just put down, my life is a Snapchat.
Snapchat filter, yeah.
Snapchat filter and all. It was cool. But she wanted to take it down. So I have now decided that it is a band album. It's band. Yeah. So it went up in price. It was going to be $15. Now it's $30 because it's a band, folks. So get it now. Get it now. Quick.
And oddly enough, it's the White Album.
I'll be done with the songs pretty soon. So we'll record those and sell. But don't wait for that. It's kind of like Kickstarter. Don't wait for me to actually do the stuff. Send your money.
Remember, folks, we are always taking donations.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Would you ever start up a band for real?
That's
no.
A lot of work.
Yeah.
I'm retired, so.
Hey, and you're having fun with your retirement.
Oh yeah, there's so much on YouTube I haven't seen yet, and all these shows we have to watch. Because Brian makes us watch all the Rising Tide shows.
And you guys seem to have a lot of fun every weekend going to Meager, or the grocery store that you like to go to.
Oh, Meyer.
I'm sorry. Apparently, you're not supposed to pronounce the J.
Who knew? Actually, we went to visit a friend in Michigan, and she says, "We're going to the Meijer," and I'm like, "Okay." And we walk in like, "Holy crap! This is the biggest." It's like a Walmart of groceries, And I'm like, "There's a J in there." She's like, "Yeah, they were." I don't know what she said. Swiss, Hungarian.
It's a German thing.
Oh, what? I don't even know if that's German or not. Stockholm sort of deal, Norse or something. So Donna would know, but I'm not going to ask her. But yeah, so she says we're going to Meijer, and so now they built one here in Danville, so now we can go to Meijer.
It's okay. We have streets that are kind of odd. We have a street that is pronounced Coburn, but it looks like Coburn, but it's pronounced, it looks like Cockburn, but it's pronounced Coburn.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't understand that. It's a English thing, obviously, but weird. And then we have Grosvenor, and with an S in the word, but you're not supposed to pronounce the S.
Yeah. Okay. I think one of the big editors of National Geographic, as I was growing up, was named Grosvenor, but it had an S in it.
Yeah.
I was like, how are you supposed to say this? But
English
somebody
is
said
weird,
it was a
folks.
Grosvenor. I was like, okay. Like Worcester sauce.
Yeah.
Worcestershire. Whatever. Donna is yelling something at me about Meyer, but I'm if she doesn't put it in the chat, I don't. Oh, it's a German thing, she says. Okay.
Yeah.
It is a German thing. All right. And don't tell Bob Seeger there's no room for Saxon rock. I didn't say it. Okay. The guys in the Subterraneans said it. And, you know.
Wow, look at the talent that's in my chat.
Well, I can't talk about him now anymore.
Oh, no. I think that's all the more reason to talk about him.
Okay. Well, don't tell him that I said that he forces us to watch all the Rising Tide shows. So, you know, it keeps me busy, Willow. It really does. I got to watch all these shows. Oh, now she's texting me from you. What the hell? The chat's not good enough for you? I'm sorry. We're off the rails.
You know what's funny is that Joe will do that too, where it's like we're like maybe 10 feet away from each other and he'll give me a text message.
We do that.
Or he'll text me from the toilet.
Oh, that's always fun. Hi, hon. Can you bring some paper? I'm in trouble.
I swear that that's like the whole purpose of our marriage is to see who can be how often we can piss each other off for not refilling the toilet paper.
No. Well, we've stopped doing that. We buy the whatever the 32 rolls because you got to buy it in bulk now, and then we each get 16 rolls, and I just stack them up right in front of her little commode there in her bathroom, and I put them in mine. So she gets down that low, I'm in trouble,
Well,
me too.
We keep our toilet paper in the cupboard above the toilet because our cats will get at it if we put it on the roll. So yeah, and then all of a sudden you'll hear, "Hun." Oh yeah.
Well, I learned a long time ago that you keep an old broom handle nearby so you can reach far from the ship. Follow me for more life tips. Yeah. So, yeah. Donna says I was even old way back then. I was. When I was a kid, you're talking about, remembering when you were a kid.
Yeah.
I was an old man. I wore a tie to school and carried a briefcase. I was a real nerd geek, whatever, from the start. And as I've gotten older, I've gotten more playful. But yeah, I was a grumpy old young kid, old man.
You know what? I'm very much like I look forward to being a grumpy old woman, but yeah, even now, there was one time my coworker comes into work and he has his hat on sideways, and I'm just like, seriously, can you just wear your hat normal? My boss is all, "You're such an old woman." I was like, it looks odd. Yeah. To me, why?
Well, that's more actually a young thing. You care about those kinds of things. And later in life, you'll just say, screw it, I'm going to the store in my socks.
Hey,
not in the winter. Don't do it in the winter.
I've gone to the store in my pajamas, so.
Yeah. You just get where
I'm not there to meet anyone. I'm there to buy a hamburger and milk.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, but other people's opinions don't matter as much to you. What I'm saying, I guess, and so if they say, well, that doesn't match, what you're wearing doesn't match, you're like, yeah, get away from me. I don't care what you think.
But no, like for me, if when it comes to fashion outside of outside of the home or whatever, yeah, I'm gonna try to look somewhat presentable. But
yeah. See, I was that way when I was working too, because I was a counselor. So if somebody saw me during the weekend, I didn't want to look all scruffy. Who would want to listen to that guy? He looks like homeless.
I'll throw this line out once in a while, and Joe will be like, "So we'll just get off work," and he'll be like, "So are you gonna change?" I'm like, no. Why? He goes, "Well, I don't know. Get out of your work clothes. Who am I impressing?" He goes, "Hello."
Yeah. What am I? Got liver, honey?
It's like, why have you? I already have you.
That's right. You smell like peppermint.
Oh, trust me, believe me. There will be times where it's like as soon as I get home, there off goes the clothes and into the shower because getting sprayed with peppermint syrup is not fun.
When I worked at the short time I worked at Pizza Hut as an assistant manager, okay, and assistant manager does everything. You wait tables, you wash the pans, you cook, you do the cash register, everything. So because you can't find the manager.
No, they're in the back,
whatever,
playing around on the internet.
Well, we didn't even have internet back then. I don't know what they were doing back there, but they weren't working. But anyway, so the assistant manager's doing all this crap, and I'd come home, and this is when I was married to my first wife, and I'd smell like pizza,
Yeah.
And she'd be like, "Oh, you know what sounds good? Let's go have pizza." I'd be like, whoa.
Oh my God. So
no, that's the last thing I want. Thank you.
That was my first job ever. It was besides some restaurant job that we in my foster home we owned the Marchand Bar at one point. But that wasn't a job. That was, helping out my mom on weekends that I had off from school. Yeah, that was a chore.
Yeah.
But my first job out of high school, straight into the working class, Pizza Hut.
Mm-hmm.
From this day, I can't have a Pizza Hut pizza.
No. Oh.
No. I absolutely hate the smell of it.
Wow. I did overcome my problem, and the thing is they give you free food while you're working. That's what gets that's what gets you. And I gained about 30 pounds in 6 months. That was bad. I had to quit there.
At this point, we had discounts at KFC and Taco Bell.
Ooh, okay.
So I would go in at Toonie Tuesday or like the $2 Tuesday meals, and of course I get my discount, so I would come up to be like $1 something.
Cool.
So that did
That's
that
how
for
I
a while.
College. I was very poor going through college, but I made friends with a guy that worked at a Taco Bell, and I would go in every night and say, "Do you have any mistakes?"
Oh.
They put sour cream on something they weren't supposed to or whatever. And he would save them for me and sell them to me for half price.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I lived on that and ramen noodles for like 2 years. Ramen noodles and Taco Bell is not a recommended diet, folks. Don't try it, okay?
Hey, that's a delicacy now in some places.
Yeah,
but
Donna is being weird here. She says, if you watch the video tour of our second floor, you understand why we have to text. It is quite a haul, But that doesn't mean much because we used to have 2 computers side by side in the same room. We'd do this to guests that would come through. We'd say, watch this. I'm going to send Donna a message. I'd send a message. It would go through the America Online Network, all the way down to Virginia, I suppose, and then all the way back to Illinois to her computer, and she'd see it, and she'd answer to go to Virginia, and then all the way back, and we'd be like, see how well that works? I said, why didn't you just turn and talk to her? You crazy? Talk to your spouse? What the hell?
I know. That's unheard of now.
Give me a lemonade.
So you live in how old is your house, by the way?
It's about 100 years old now.
Yeah. What year was your house built? Do you know?
We're thinking 1920s, 1930s, maybe as late as the 40s.
Yeah.
But it did not have indoor plumbing when it was built.
Yeah.
And so all the bathrooms have been retroactively fitted in. And so when you have to go to the washroom, you have to step up a little, step because the pipes are under there.
Oh, okay.
So there's a little step up. So we're like, this was not original equipment in this house. Oh, okay.
1928. Okay.
And I am in the lovely, what we figure is the servants' quarters.
Okay.
Because it's the smallest room upstairs. There's a little closet over this direction. You can see the door. I need to clean that. If you open the door, there's a place where there used to be a sink in there. I hope it was where a sink was. Where the maid could wash her little hands.
Yeah.
I don't know how it worked. I guess you used a chamber pot because they didn't have the bathrooms built at that point. And then there's a back stairway that I can go downstairs to where you'd cook and all that stuff. So.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
A neat little office, and I said, I'm grabbing that.
Yeah.
I didn't know I'd be doing broadcasts and putting my green screen bar up there and all that. You can see all that junk back there.
Soon I will have an office so that I won't be, blocking my husband's view.
Yeah. He's got to be able to get to that fridge.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
So my house was built in about 1907.
Wow.
Yeah, this house has been renovated quite a few times back in like the 60s and 70s. We took the house over from Joe's grandparents, and they're still very much remnants of his grandma, that the needlepoint and some of the cool little flower borders.
Oh, that's nice.
So we're trying to figure out ways of adding our own touches, but I'm looking at our stairway. The banister has like a thick layer of like latex paint on it. So I don't know how many times it got painted. Trying to scrape that off is going to be a pain.
Because we can see on some of the doorways where it's beautiful wood grain in here, and then you'll see this is painted either white or off pink colors.
Okay, yeah. My bathroom is like an aqua green color.
Oh,
and
okay.
Yeah, so it's nice tile, but yeah, it's interesting aqua green. Our bedroom is like a coral pink.
Okay.
So yeah.
we have a downstairs bathroom, which is just a what do they call that? Anyway, we call it the loo because it's not got a shower or bathroom. It's just a bathroom,
Yeah.
And it's a tiny little thing. It used to be a closet of some kind, and it of course is up a little step,
Yeah.
But something had happened to the floor in there, and it was I guess it was carpet in there. I'm like, who carpets a bathroom?
Ew.
So so I tore it out, and I look at the floor that's underneath it, and I'm like, okay. And Donna's like, well, what's it look like? What color is it? I said, it's a beautiful shade of already there.
Oh no.
I mean, because it's already there. I'm not changing it.
Yeah.
The same was with my bathroom up here. We'd had some problems, and I told her the same thing. It's a shade of already there. A pussy yellow sort of thing. Why would you want that on your bathroom floor? We try to avoid having that color on the bathroom floor. Thank you. But they.
Hey, John. So does your house have the original hardwood floors in it?
Underneath stuff, yes. And sadly, when we had the latest problem with the pipe breaking in the attic and all that stuff, we found out that the hardwood floors, which were beautiful in spots, had been eaten away by termites about 80 years ago in spots. And so we could not leave them. And it was like, well, do you want to put in all new hardwood floors? Cha-ching, or do you just want carpet? I want carpet, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Because our insurance would just cover all the carpeting, but they were not going to cover hardwood floors.
Yeah.
So.
Our house has the original hardwood floors upstairs and in our main floor. Unfortunately, the house survived the huge 50s flood in Winnipeg. So, yeah, we're not able to save the main floors, unfortunately. Well, which is kind of sad. But, yeah, right now it's covered up in carpet. And it's like... You kind of have that moment of like sadness where it's like, I know we're going to have to rip up this carpet sooner or later and get rid of the floors.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it's,
it was in,
I'll take pictures of it, but the hardwood floors upstairs is beautiful.
Oh yeah. 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 The spots that were not eaten away 80 years ago were beautiful, but yeah. And the guy that was tearing it up says, yeah, don't worry. You don't have termites now. This was long ago. I'm like, okay, good. I got some good news finally. Yeah.
Do you have any hope of kind of restoring the house to its original luster, or?
I've thought about, yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
There's some spots where I'd love to take this white paint that they painted over everything for some reason and get it back to like wood grain.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm only one that sees that part. So, yeah.
I know it's okay because I'm married to a guy who works with wood. It breaks my heart to see, houses that have like their kitchen cabinets painted white.
Yeah.
Why?
Strange ideas get into people's heads. And we had several owners between the original and ourselves that thought they were do-it-yourselfers and were not, or they were not good do-it-yourselfers. Some of the wiring in this place gives me nightmares at night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, so there's one place in the washroom where we had to change the light bulb, and I'm looking up there and I'm going, there's like wires that are tied together and there's nothing, no tape. I mean, or if there was tape, it fell off, 40 years ago. And no little nuts on them or anything to hold there's just bare wires there. I could touch them and shock myself. Yeah, nice.
Oh,
so we had to have that all redone because of safety issues. But
yep, we're looking to upgrade some of our wiring here too, and get a new panel in our basement. Yeah. That's the fun part of having a father-in-law who used to work for the hydro company. There's things that he like. Okay, so my father-in-law, he doesn't like us using any of those Glade plug-in stuff because he's seen it all. He used to be.
Yeah, those will kill you.
Yeah, so I got it. And then of course he every now and then he'll come over and he'll replace the battery in our smoke detector in our kitchen.
Because you can't, obviously. Or don't.
No. He did that to me once and I'm just like, why? It goes off just like I'll turn on the element and it'll start going.
Oh. Yeah.
It's that sensitive.
So do you unplug the battery once he leaves or something?
Oh, yeah. I have a smoke detector upstairs that works fine.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, it's that thing. As soon as it started beeping, I'm just like, why?
I've got one that's probably like 7 feet away from me, and I smoke my cigars in here all the time, and it's only gone off once ever.
Huh.
And I was like, oh wow, it finally caught this. No, it was just low battery.
Oh no! Whoops.
I was like, okay, I could start a fire in this room, and the thing wouldn't be.
Yeah, no, like some of the quirks that I have Joe's dad used to be a fire chief and working for the hydro company, and so some of the fun quirks that he always inspects the house just to make sure things are working right, but
too many things plugged in.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny because if I use my kettle and my microwave, something will trip.
No.
So yeah, no, so it's like, okay, so you can't use both of those at the same time.
Okay, you may be too young, but have you ever seen Green Acres?
I heard about that. Yeah.
Okay, because they had an electrical system like that. She could plug in a 2 and a 3, but not a 3 and a 5. but she could, and they had them all figured out how many watts or whatever they were taking, and she could only plug in so much at a time, because if it added up to too much, everything went.
Yeah, no. So yeah, no. That's the only downfall about my kitchen is
Your overactive smoke detector.
I have an old toaster that works just beautifully, and it's like one of those under the counter models. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing this thing is from like the 60s, and it works beautifully. I haven't had an issue with it. Cool. Although the newer toasters that are now, I've had issues.
They don't make anything like they used to. Got my lawn.
That one post that you posted about the refrigerator from like the 70s or the 60s or 70s. Like I used to have one of those fridges, and they work beautifully.
Yeah, forever and ever.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, you get tired of them after a while, and or the handle falls off. That's what's going to happen. The handle's going to fall off. The refrigerator itself will keep things cool forever, but yeah. And then you replace it with a modern one, and then all your food is frozen.
Yeah.
That's our problem. Is the freezer is a separate section from the fridge.
Yeah.
And you can set the temperatures differently. But no, everything's freezing now. Eggs froze one day.
Yeah.
I'm playing around with the temperature, going, okay, I hope I don't get salmonella now if I get too low.
Yeah, and the fridges at my work always seem to break down too, and I'm just like, why is the newer technology always broken?
Like the McDonald's shake machine.
Yep. Although I don't think I've ever seen that happen so much here in Canada, but I don't know.
It doesn't. It's in the U.S. as because there's one company that has a contract for those things. Okay?
Oh.
And they're the only ones that can repair them. They're the only ones that understand them. They're the ones that actually can program them. And if they don't get to fix them every once in a while, they don't make any money. So, yeah. Because Wendy's has those same machines, I guess. And Wendy's does not have that service contract, and their machines work fine.
Huh. Good to know.
I saw a YouTube video on it.
Oh.
Not that you should base your life decisions on a YouTube video, people. Just saying. But yeah, I did a little research into that too. That's very interesting how these things work in the U.S.
Well, see, with me, when it comes to our coffee machines, the Maestrinas at Starbucks, I'm always looking over the shoulder of the tech guys because I want to learn how to work, how to fix these machines myself, because so that we don't always have to call them every month.
Exactly, yeah. Save yourself some time.
Yeah, exactly. But I know they kind of I did ask at one point, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, how do you do this? And the guy kind of looked at me and was just like, I'm curious.
If
you guys don't want to come here every month,
we're either gonna have to hire you or kill you if you learn too much, lady. Okay, back off. Yeah, they're very secretive about those kinds of things.
Yeah,
and see, later in my job, I worked in information technology as IT. I wanted people to learn. Please learn about your computer, so you don't have. I mean, I don't have to drive half the state of Illinois to find out. One time, okay, I live in the central part of Illinois, and this town that I was being called to is equivalent of Chicago, probably further than Chicago away. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is probably a 4-hour drive to get there, and I have to stay overnight in a hotel and all this good stuff. State's paying for it. I can't complain about that. But I was just like, you're really putting me out here, my social obligations, whatever. So they call that I can't print anything. Hasn't printed all week. And I'm like, well, have you checked the paper? Yeah, there's paper in there. Okay. And it's the right size. Yeah. Okay. Nothing weird with the paper. Have you tried, taking it out and putting new paper in? Yeah. So I get all the way up there. I take Donna too. We have a nice dinner. We stay in a nice hotel. Go over the next day, look at the printer, and I open it up, and there's a bunch of yellow paper in there. Now, these printers are smart. They're smart printers. And they had said, print this on white paper. It sensed that it was yellow and would not print.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
So I pull it out, put white paper in. A week and a half's worth of printing starts shooting out of this thing. Well, I mean, a week and a half.
Oh, my
so
God.
I'm like, get more paper, you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know how long we've been doing it. But I'm like, you got to be smarter than the printer, kids. You got to be smarter than the printer. And I if you just gone in there, looked at it, and said, Carl, there's yellow paper in there, I would have said, well, take that crap out and put white in and you see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, save the state hundreds of dollars, but no.
When I worked for EB Games, that like the majority of my job was taking calls from people. My machine isn't working. Is it turned on? Yes, of course it's turned on. Did you flip the switch in the back?
No. Black? Where is that? Yeah.
I didn't know there was a switch in the back. Did you read the manual?
When we bought this house, I mean, this is a huge house. It's old, and I got a good deal on it, but it's huge, okay? And one of my coworkers who was a counselor says, how much of a raise did you get? Dude. And I said, well, the first floor of this house is paid for by people who say, I don't even know how to turn a computer on. The second floor was paid for by people who say, there were books, there's a manual I had to read? What? And the third floor was paid for by people who can't work the printer.
Yep.
You guys paid for this. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Well, when we took over this house, one of the great things that was the addition to the house was an old sewing machine. Now, this isn't it's not a Singer, but it's similar to a Singer. Okay. It's called a Viking sewing machine. And it's like one of those very nice industrial sewing machines. Mm-hmm. Joe's grandma used to make gloves for a living. That was her job.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know how she got the job to do it from home, but she was able to do it from home. And I guess they gave her the sewing machine. I have it up in my office now. And so for years, it's like I couldn't find the manual. And And then one day I just kind of cleaned out the desk, and there it was, shoved underneath it, all like the button collection.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's where you keep.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So yeah, this thing is like probably like from the 50s or something.
Yeah.
And beautiful machine, heavy as hell.
Now, is it electric?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Because I've seen some of those machines you had to on paddles.
They had to actually like retrofit the power outlet for it, specifically for it. So yeah.
It's like a 220 sewing machine or something. Wow, that's powerful. One of your friends, Ali, asked something about why did everybody paint over wood with white paint?
Oh yeah. I
it was a 70s or 80s thing, I think.
They still do it, even with some of the houses out here. Like they'll and even some of like the businesses, like it will have a beautiful facade, and someone will paint over it white. I don't understand that. Or it'll be like gray. Like if it's not white, it'll be gray or black.
Gray. When we moved in here, we had an off-white carpet on the floor. And we were like, who the heck? That must have been an 80s thing. Yeah.
When I was a kid, one of the houses that that I lived in with my mom, I don't know why I want to say that my grandfather and my uncles weren't very smart around this time. They made our playroom with this like ugly shag carpeting. It was like yellow. It was like an orangish yellow shag carpeting.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh
yeah.
Why?
So that if you got sick, it would hide it. You know, I don't know, but that was my theory when I saw that orangish yellow kind of carpet. I thought, yeah, that's because you have kids and you think they're going to get sick all over the carpet, and you think you can hide it in there.
No, it was like it was an ugly room because it had like wood paneling too, and I'm just like,
oh yeah, you had to have wood paneling in those days. That was the law. You didn't have to have that kind of. You had to have shag carpeting and paneling. Now, the color of the shag carpeting could be worked out, you know.
Yeah.
But you always had those couches that were wooden that had the upholstery around the like pillow type stuff around them too. That was in.
One of my favorite couches that my mom had was like a felt orangish, well, again with the orangish yellow, but it was like a metallic color of it too. It was like felt metallic orangish yellow color.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a couch like that at like some antique store. I'm just like, and you guys, why is this couch still here? Someone should have burnt it.
I know. We had one of those when I was growing up too. It was a huge, like 5 people could sit on this couch. We called it a Davenport, though. It wasn't a couch; it was a Davenport. And it rolled out. It would fold out into a bed.
Oh,
yeah. But it was banana yellow with this weird sort of sculpted pattern into it. You know, that would, if you were sitting there on a hot day with your shorts on, you would have that pattern drawn all over your legs.
Yes.
Yeah. So we used to have friends over and say, "Oh, have a seat on the Davenport for a while," and then we'd laugh because they had that pattern on their legs. That was funny.
Yeah. We had a French provincial couch for a while that had like an ugly flower. I still have the chair, but the couch has since been taken to the dump because he didn't want me to keep it.
Yeah.
So yeah, he told me it couldn't be saved, so we're dumping it. I'm like, okay, so I hid the chair upstairs.
The chair works, right?
Yeah, I have it covered up with other material right now because I do have plans on recovering it.
Cool.
But yeah, no, the couch, yeah, it was like the material was like a really ugly flower pattern, and it was just like the material itself was really like gross to sit on.
Yeah,
like
I know what
it was not comfortable at all. It was like a rough material.
I think they call it horsehair.
Oh,
because it feels like a horse sitting
Yeah.
on it. You know? Yeah, those were awful. And the thing is, all those couches and Davenports of that era weighed a ton. Now ours weighed a ton because it also had a metal folding bed inside there. You know, so
yeah.
it would take 3 people to move the dang thing. It was terrible.
Oh yeah, and like I know every so often I'll see like a couch that kind of reminds me of my grandma's. It's like everybody in like the 80s and 90s had like a brown kind of like it kind of looked like a horse and buggy.
Oh, the pattern.
Yeah. It was like either a flower pattern or like the horse and buggy or some kind of weird brownish pattern on it. But it just seemed like everybody had this couch, and
somewhere some guy sitting back in his mansion smoking his cigar going, yeah, sold me a lot of those horse and buggy couches.
Yep. And then of course like the grandparents with the plastic over their couches too.
Yeah.
Because heaven forbid someone should spill something on their couch.
I had an aunt or two like that, but yeah.
My grandma was like a very huge clean freak, and it was like nightmarish. If you brought in a cup, she'd be like right there with the coaster.
Yeah, Donna had an aunt or no, it wasn't an aunt. It was actually her sister-in-law, I think, because her brother's much older than she is, and she would only fill her cup. And I mean, Donna was a teenager at the time, I think. She would only fill her cup so far. So we call that giving someone a Susan portion. And she says, "Don't be Susan. Pour me the whole glass." I'm like, okay. Don't be Susan, you know.
No, interesting experiences. I know, like I lived through the 80s. I was born in 82, so I got to experience pretty much the 80s through with music and hairstyles.
Big hair.
I
still like big hair. I do. I love big hair. I grew up through that. That was my teenage years. I think, loved big hair. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't understand how women took the time to do that, because every so often I'll do that for my Elvira look, and I'm just like, how? It takes
all day,
like an hour just to do the hair.
Oh, yeah.
Another hour for the makeup.
Well, I remember in high school, girls would disappear for an hour, and then they'd come back and their hair was up like that. So Oh, Donna says she was in her 20s. Oh my God. Yeah. And you might spill still. In your 20s, you don't have that coordination.
But I mean, even in the 90s, like my sister was still like teasing her bangs and doing all that. And I just didn't understand that.
It was popular. Maybe they figured guys liked it or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have always said though that when women dress and they fix themselves up, many times guys don't even notice. You probably noticed that by now. it's for other women you're fixing yourself up for, okay? Because they're the ones that are going to judge you the most harshly. That doesn't match, or she's wearing that with that.
Yep.
Did you see how her hair was off to one side? Guys don't. Or shoes. Unless you're wearing stiletto heels, a guy probably doesn't even notice your feet at all.
I don't understand. Okay, so shoes, Joe's work is so picky when it comes to shoes. It's like they have to be black, they have to be this, even with pants, right? I'm just like, you're in a little box. Nobody will look at your shoes.
Right. But we don't want you having weird ones, just in case. Yeah.
Like, you can't tell me the supervisors at Winnipeg Transit will be looking in the little box to make sure that the bus drivers are wearing proper shoes.
We've got a camera down there, Bad shoe man. Yeah. Well, some of those are occupational too, because my mother was an emergency room nurse for a while, and then she worked in other departments too. But she would come home, and your mom or aunt or whoever might have told you, wear clean underwear. Don't pin your underwear when it's, get a different pair, because they'll see you that in the emergency room when they take you in. It's true. My mother would come home and go, "Oh my God, you wouldn't believe this lady had her panties all stuck up with safety pins." And I'm like, it is true. They will talk about you.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I heard so many stories about people's dirty underwear, or it's torn, or I'm like, yep. So, to me, that's just another day in Winnipeg. No, if your outer clothes are torn, that's fine, but have nice, clean underwear on, because those nurses will notice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I mean, especially when it comes to socks, my Starbucks was really bad when it came. They kind of relaxed now on the dress code, but before it's must wear black socks, and I'm just like, are you seriously looking at my socks to make sure that I'm wearing black socks?
You would hope not. They got better things to do most of the time than look at
you don't see my socks through over my pants and my shoes.
Well, maybe if there was an accident.
I mean, I do remember one time looking at my just happened that I was looking down and my boss walked by, and I'm just like, he's wearing neon orange and green socks. Okay, so that's rough. I don't have to go to work with black socks anymore.
There you go. I have a problem. I'm blue-black colorblind. I can't really tell the difference.
Oh, okay.
So this is blue today. I hang my blue shirts up in one side and the black ones up, because if I get close enough to a light, I can tell.
Yeah.
But just looking at it, I can't. And socks are horrible that way. So I just said, okay, I'm throwing away or giving away and donating all my blue socks to charity and get rid of them.
Yeah.
Buy all black socks from now on. And I buy I would go in and buy 12 pairs of the same socks at the same time. And it really helps when you're packing, I traveled a lot. Okay, I'm taking 4 socks with me, boom, throw them in there. I know they're going to match because they're all the same type, same brand, everything, boom. And you don't have to sit there and roll them up,
Yeah.
It's so much of a...
Is that common in guys to be blue-black colorblind? I thought it was
more than I don't know. I was trying to think it was maybe more men than women.
Okay.
I know red-green is more men.
Joe's dad is red-green colorblind.
Yeah. But
I never heard of blue-black colorblind.
It's pretty rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, does it affect your everyday life on a regular basis, or have you? Okay.
Lighter blues, this one I can tell easily, or blue on the computer, I can tell blue from black. So, Facebook, I can tell, um, foreground from background is okay. But if it's navy blue, forget it. Yeah, it's just, yeah.
Now, would you actually invest in those glasses that help with color blindness?
If they would help, I might, yeah. But I didn't know they even make glasses that do that. So.
Apparently, there are glasses out there that can help kind of compensate for the color blindness. But
I assumed they were red green, so I didn't
Yeah.
even look at that. So I don't know now at my stage in life, when I really don't care. I'll wear a blue shirt and black socks, and I don't really care. If anybody doesn't like it, they can stop looking at my socks.
Yeah. Were you born with that, or did that come later on in life?
I may have been born with it and never really realized, because I used to wear one blue sock and one black sock all the time.
Yeah.
And I just kind of figured it out.
Okay.
Oh, Donna says to help our friend Eric.
Good to know.
We have a friend Eric? Candy's husband Eric. Okay. I'm trying to think, what do I know named Eric? Do you know somebody I don't know? Okay. Well, that's cool if they do. I forgot. He did say he was colorblind. I think he is totally colorblind, though. I think he has trouble with all colors.
Okay.
The world is all black and white to him.
Yeah.
And he works in I think he works in electrical or something. It's where color is important. And he's been able to get by. I'm like, okay. You're skating on thin ice there, buddy. But okay. I think I go in.
Don't ask him to defuse a bomb.
Which wire? Never mind. I got it. Step away. Chemistry lab. Okay, well, that's just as important. Don't pour the yellow stuff in the green stuff. I'm sure that everything's marked well, But
you would hope.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The test shows you're pregnant, sir. Sorry about that.
The red pill or the blue pill?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Did I ever tell you that story of the little blue pill?
No.
Okay. I was having stomach problems, okay? And it turned out to be gallbladder, but I was, I hear all these ads on TV about Nexium, the little purple pill that helps out your stomach, Take Nexium and it helps you digest better. So I'm thinking, oh, maybe I couldn't think of the name Nexium when I went in to see the doctor. So I said, I'm having problems with my stomach. I'm thinking maybe the little purple pill, whatever that's called, would help. And he's like, I've got some samples. I'm thinking, oh, well, that's pretty cool. Free Nexium. I'll take it, So he comes back with a little paper bag. I'm thinking, okay, it's pretty dramatic for stomach medication, but okay. I get home and Donna's like, well, how'd it go? I said, well, he gave me some samples. Open it up. It's not the little purple pill, Willow. Oh, no. He thought stomach was code or something. He gave me the little blue pill.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And Donna says, oh, hell no. Take that back right now. Take that back right now to the doctor. And I was like, I'm going to take that back.
Oh, my God.
Never used it, but I'm saving that just in case.
Oh, my God. That is wild.
Yeah, because I don't know what he was thinking. Maybe I was talking about my stomach is giving me problems, and I wasn't using the quote, but maybe he thought I was.
Oh no! and unfortunately, now it's like you can't read what they're writing on the prescription because they just have this like wiggle. Oh, that's
exactly,
terrible.
Yeah, so I got some samples. I was like, no thanks.
So speaking of inept doctors, so I lived out in this town called Steinbach, and it's part of the Bible Belt of Manitoba. And one of the I remember going to the doctor, and they did some tests, and then I get this thing in the mail for prescription. It's like, why would they mail me a prescription? First of all,
in those days,
I never heard of any doctor mailing a prescription, and so I took it to the pharmacist. I'm like, what is this for? They're like, well, it says that you have a urine infection. It's like, I'm fine. Why?
Wow.
So of course, I had to go to the doctor and find out why would you mail me a prescription for a urine infection when I'm fine? That's not even what I went to see you for.
Meanwhile, some poor woman out there has a urine infection and not got her medicine yet.
But it's like that's like not the first time I've dealt with stupid doctors in my life. Well, aside from today.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's just like our medical system is a freaking joke. Hey, at least it's free, but it wastes our time.
You've got help from the other end too. I used to work with the folks with mental illness, we'll call it. Exciting bunch of folks, but one of them had seen on television a documentary or something, and it had told that there's cartilage in your nose, but there are no bones in your nose, and that really freaked them out. They wanted bones in their nose. Cartilage wasn't good enough for them. Okay, they wanted bones, so they went to the doctor and bugged the doctor until he wrote him, and they showed me the prescription. Look, Carl, I've got it right here. It said prescription nasal bones, and the doctor had scribbled their signature so you couldn't read it, because I was like, who the hell wrote this? I'm gonna have their license. And no, you couldn't tell who wrote it, but it's like he must have bugged the doctor enough that he got his prescription for nasal bones. And I'm like, I want to go to the pharmacy with you, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it'd be like, okay, how are we going to fill this thing? Do we shove something up the guy's nose? Do we give him some placebo pill and say, take these, you'll grow some bones? Come back in a week and we'll check you out.
Give them like a sugar pill or something. Yeah.
I mean, what do you do?
So Donna has a record that on her record that she's allergic to seizure medication. Interesting.
Yeah, and she's never had seizures, so she's never been prescribed that particular drug, but she's allergic to it somehow. And they cannot seem to get it taken off. They say, I'll get that off of here. And it won't delete for some reason. So, if she ever does have a seizure, she's in trouble.
Okay, so I'm still using my health card that has my maiden name on it, right? And I actually went on the computer to switch that. They ended up sending me the health card still with my maiden name on it.
Okay, yeah.
Like, wow. And then I love the doctor. Well, you should be able to switch that. It is free. And it's like, but I tried.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Just print a label and stick it on there.
Yeah. It's like,
then they'll be like, you're trying to commit fraud. You got the wrong name on here. No.
But whatever. I've been working with it for a while now, so it's whatever, no big deal, but it's frustrating when you have one doctor saying, oh, you can switch it, it's fine, you can just go on the computer, it's easy that way.
Oh yeah. And they do it, or they pretend to do it, and then they don't hit enter or save or whatever, and it's lost. You know.
Yeah. It's like
your urinary infection. It got lost.
I'm getting asked on Friday when was the last time I had a tetanus shot, and I'm just like, well, I'm probably about due for one, right? Because the last time I remember getting it done was probably like 10 years ago. And so apparently she actually looked it up, and she goes, well, the last time you had a tetanus shot was in 2008. I'm just like, I'm pretty sure it was after that. I was working at Starbucks when I had it done.
Yeah, because didn't you step on a nail, or am I getting you confused with?
No, I burnt myself pretty good about a little over 10 years ago. Okay. And so I was spending 14 hours in the hospital just for a tetanus shot. That wasn't fun.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I love getting my blood pressure taken, and I normally have low blood pressure, and I was furious at this time. And the girl's like, I'm here to take your blood pressure, and this is like at like 6 a.m. or something like that. I'm like, well, it'd probably be normal because I'm pissed.
Yeah, that has happened, I think, to Donna before too. They drive her up into it. I don't know if you know, the reason I got into psychology was because I wanted to do hypnotherapy. And so I can do hypnosis, but I also do self-hypnosis. So one time they were doing a show at how they do those shows at the mall, health fairs and all, come on over, have your blood pressure taken. So I have them take it, and I'm relaxed. And she's like, okay, that's perfect textbook thing. And I said, would you take it again, please? Okay. And I just did my thing. And she's like, okay, that's weird. One went up and one went down, the numbers. And so she called the supervisor over, and she took it, and I was doing something else with it. She's like, well, now it's the other way. I said, I'm just fooling with you.
Interesting.
And they're like, you can't change your blood pressure. I said, oh, really? You want to see textbook again? Boom. Yeah. You know, you were hearing those people in India that could stop their hearts, and all that sort of stuff. I can't do that, but I can really make my blood pressure low. And it was a little trick I learned. So
that's interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Take Winston.
Yeah, because she did not change her name to Witzman, even though everybody changes it for her. The bank changed it for her. The power company changed it for her. She's like, no, my name is not Witzman. So it was funny. They put Donna C. Carlene, even though she has no middle initial. But the power company decided, because she said, my middle initial is not C. I don't have one. So she would get, because the power was in her name for a while. Yeah. So it was Donna X Carlene. They just put an X in the middle. That'll teach her.
Weird.
We must have a middle initial.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So they just put an X in there. And she's like, really? Whatever. I don't care. I mean, she got to the point where it's just like,
not even worth the time to fight over it.
They were so glad though when we got married, because they put my name on there, and then she's like, no, you can't do it that way. No. So now they have us listed: Carl Witzman, Donna Carlene.
Yeah.
They're okay with that. But when her bank changed her name without telling her, she was really ticked off about that. We saw it in the paper. Well, thanks, but you're a little too proactive. Now, probably some woman that wanted to change her name because she got married, they'd want to charge her $10 for something like that,
Yeah.
But she didn't want it changed, and they're all over the town. They're like, nope, because that's the way they do things here in Podunk, Illinois.
Yeah. No, it's too much running around for stupid things, and it's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Craziness. So what's your next topic on Cryptid Crunch?
We are going to be talking about the Japanese.
Sea monster.
Yeah,
That's
it's like
right.
the sea monster. Yeah.
Cool.
Like
Is there enough information?
it's like an octopus. Yeah.
Really, there's a lot of information about that one.
There is. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm gonna. Speaking of, I should be messaging them later. And did. But no.
I know last week you did your homework and you had your report, and everybody else was like, "Well, that's very interesting," and I got nothing. I'm like, "What the hell? Come on!"
So yeah, I will. I'll message them and getting there. But you know what, JD's making his rounds on the circuit. So
he was on Stupid O'Clock the other night. He was great. So
he's our little celebrity. So it's
yeah.
So I'm proud of that.
Yeah. You gave him the start. And then pretty soon he'll be
I cannot take credit for that because Johnny found him on Instagram, and it's funny. Like I had just gotten off work, and I get, hey, by the way, I found you a co-host. He's a New Jersey Devil, and my Canadian brain, I'm just like, a hockey player.
There you go. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
I'm like, okay, that's cool. Then it's like, and then I get the picture. I'm just like, oh.
We don't discriminate here. Okay, sure. Why not? Send him over. Oh, he's a real devil. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But he's good. He's good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's fun.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to send him cigars, though. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's got to keep him away from the chupacabra.
Yeah, I'm worried about that thing's diet.
Yeah.
Good to eat. If I get at least a little tobacco in my mouth from it's like, yeah, you don't want to eat that stuff. It's not good for you. No.
Well, it's like cats and dogs will eat pretty much anything.
Yeah, I guess that's what the chupacabra is like a trumped up dog with Java juice or Red Bull or
something like that. Yeah.
Hey, you got a hair problem, I hear.
But yeah, no. So yeah, this Sunday, if you guys tune in, Crypto Crunch will be on at it'll be on at 9 p.m. Eastern. Sorry.
Okay. So 8 Central.
8 Central. Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Are you thinking about doing like things like the Tasmanian tiger that was alive? We know it was alive, but now it's possibly extinct.
I'll actually keep that one in mind. That would be an interesting one to do research on.
Yeah, because you can get pictures and actual movies of the last one they had in the zoo, and those kind of things.
See, things like that kind of make me sad because it's also like the old buildings that we used to have here in Winnipeg, and it's like seeing pictures, and it's like, why would you tear those down?
Exactly. Yeah. And why would you hunt a species to extinction?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
The Indiana cryptid. Carl has pictures. Oh, the one that's posing as a late night weapons expert. I see him hanging around the woods every once in a while. I'll snap a picture or two. Yeah. We'll catch that guy.
One of these days, I'll have him on the show as well.
Yeah,
if I can catch him.
He's tough to get during certain hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll try to message him during the day so that I can get him at night.
Yeah, because he'll eventually answer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Very good.
All right. Well, I should probably let you go and get back to your life. your uneventful somewhat.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Sounds
Carl,
good.
it was a great pleasure. Thank you for joining me tonight and keeping me company and somewhat sane.
It's a good idea, after you've had a scan like that, to keep you awake for a number of hours. We hope you hear back about that. I hope it's good.
I'm sure it will be, but I'm just just not happy with okay. So I'll end the show with this. My therapist, I love her dearly, but she made a little point saying that me being klutzy is not a quirk.
Okay.
Apparently, me being extremely klutzy is not just part of my personality. It's kind of a cry for help. Apparently, I'm trying to get the attention of my mom or someone to. But I'm just like, that is the creepiest thing anybody would ever say, because apparently I'm trying to get love and attention through my klutziness. I'm just like, that doesn't sound right to me. Maybe I'm reading too much into what she said, but that to me, that's kind of how I took it.
Yeah, that would depend, because as a counselor myself, I'd have to know more about the situation and all. But that's the kind of remark a person might make, because that's a textbook kind of thing, but it doesn't fit everyone. Okay?
Yeah.
Donna had a lot of trouble, and she was very klutzy and all that stuff. She had her foot operated on, and since that time, she has not had a single incident of banging into a wall or tripping on the carpet, when there's nothing there. She was having all kinds of trouble with that. Once she had the foot surgery to correct the problem, it almost went away.
Good to know. Yeah. Okay.
So
like I do
be physical,
I will be honest, I do have balance issues, but I mean, I've always thought it was either an inner ear issue that hasn't been looked at, because nobody actually looks into the ear itself.
Could be.
But having balance issues because of my feet might also be something to look into as well. But I mean, I do have a spur on my heel, and I do walk differently because to avoid the pain.
There you go. Yeah. And a lot of people have, problem with their toes or a problem with a bone spur, and that can change your gait. And
good to know.
Looking into.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Carl, for the.
We gotta look at all these things in rehab. We can't just make a pat diagnosis based on what I read in a Freudian book 20 years ago, because.
I don't when my therapist said that, I'm just like, there's no way that I'm using I'm trying to be klutzy to get attention, to get some sort of love and affection. That just no.
Well, and not knowing enough about you, perhaps, because you do your cosplay.
Yeah.
You do the modeling. Okay. You do this.
Yeah.
I think you get a lot of attention. I mean, I don't think you have to fall in, hurt your face to get attention. You got it.
No.
So la-di-da, counselor, I got you there. She didn't know enough about your other hobbies probably to know that you got attention. So.
Oh my God. So now Ryan pipes up with the questions. What is the last book you read?
Oh, does he want to know that from us?
Yeah. What was the last book I read? Probably a self-help book.
I read Amy Hale's book, Neurosis.
Okay.
Which was very good. Very good. So,
Allie, thank you. The clumsiness is caused by my ADHD.
Yeah, because if your brain and your body are working at two different speeds, your brain is saying, I got to do this and this and this, and your body's going, wait, I haven't caught up with the first one yet.
Yeah. See, and that's exactly what, like when I'm like rushing and trying to do something, that's exactly what happens to me is like, I'll end up tripping.
Yeah. The more you hurry, the more you actually can slow yourself down because you have accidents along the way.
Yeah.
Just favorite Phil Collins song. What's that one that goes? The drum goes ta-dun, ta-dun, ta-dun. Tonight. I don't remember what the name of it is. That's the favorite. That's real helpful to Ryan. I guess I have to look that up before he interviews
what is it,
me.
like In the Air Tonight or something like that?
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
That is a good song.
Yeah, it was.
I think that's one of his well-known ones. I kind of like Phil Collins when he worked for Disney. So
Disney?
Yeah,
really?
He did the soundtrack for I believe it was brain fart.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, he did work for
Disney
Disney for a little bit. His soul, he did sell his soul to Disney.
I think I might have saw Toy Story, the first one.
Okay.
Well, that's Pixar, but it's Disney. But I think that's the last thing I went to with the Disney thing.
Tarzan. He worked on Tarzan.
Oh, okay. Well,
thank you, Allie. Yes.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. I could see that.
So, he's been plugging this in the chat a few times now. I recommend Evolution Man by Charles F. Milhouse. I'll have to look that up. So yeah, you have a book out. You have a couple books out.
Yeah, I do a couple. Yeah, I do. The latest one is the Mad Gasser Cheerleader of Calhoun County, available on Lulu.com. Yeah, that was a one of those November writing challenge things.
Okay.
And then you have the month of November to write this, and it's like I'm looking out here going, yeah, I'm not going outside in the winter, so yeah, okay, might as well write something. And that was a weird situation because there really was a mad gasser who afflicted a town nearby here. And so I thought, well, okay, but there's a lot left out of that story, like why he did it and, what went on afterwards. So I thought, I'll bet I could write a fictional story based on that and go from there.
Yeah.
So, and now I'm gonna have to write a sequel to that because people didn't like how it ended.
No.
Yeah, so I got to write a sequel there, and then I have another project thought up about a crime that was committed in Australia.
Okay.
So I'm going to go international with the next one. So. And this is not my thing. Comedy is my thing. I used to play with some science fiction. I'll eventually get my science fiction comic book. Not comic book. It's a comedy based on science fiction.
Okay.
So I will eventually get that out. That was funny. And I've written some how-to books.
Yeah.
Which have made me the most money, actually. When you need to know how to do something, it's important to have a book about it. So those are fun. But this last one was a scary thing. I did not want to get into the character's mind because he's not a nice guy.
Yeah.
And he has a lot of naughty thoughts he shouldn't have. And so when they said, "Oh, well, you know, are you going to write a sequel?" I'm like, "Oh, I got to go back in there again." And it's like going in a dirty bathroom. I don't want to go back in there. No, don't make me. But I guess it's going to happen.
Yeah, I have to send you and Brian the copy of my short story. It's kind of a steampunk sci-fi-ish Western idea. And so I'm hoping to get that out into the world, but I definitely would like to send it to you guys and to kind of refurbish it and get it to where it should be.
Be glad to look at it for you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Excellent. And I know Ryan has a book that he's working on too, so it's get on that, Ryan.
Yeah.
So Donna's last book was House of a Thousand Lanterns by Victoria Holt.
Yeah, she likes mystery and some historical things, but she doesn't like to go back as far as some people like to go back with historical stuff. I think she likes the early 1900s, late 1800s.
Yeah.
Okay. More because she loves Sherlock Holmes, and I like it too. But but that era, I think, has a special place in her heart. So
okay. It was a pleasure talking to you. I have so much fun talking to you and picking your brain. So it's
I had a lot of fun too.
But so yeah, you're on Facebook. You're on YouTube.
I actually have a YouTube channel. I have 12 subscribers. Don't subscribe, people. There's a few little lessons there on how to do this or that, and the rest of it's just junk. So don't subscribe.
He uses it to chat with us in our chat. So
I'm sorry.
You use it to chat with us during our show. So it's that's all that matters.
Exactly. Yeah. And every once in a while we have a show. I have a morning show that I do every once in a while when I have something to say. And people are like, "When are you going to do that show?" I don't have anything to say now, so I'm going to do
it. You do run a page on Facebook that is, we're not supposed to go into it if you guys don't have a sense of humor.
Yeah, the secret humor group. Did I tell you how that all started?
No.
I used to write funny emails to my people at work.
Okay.
Because you can say, okay, if you have this problem with your computer, try this. But I was making it humorous. And my boss was like, people don't get your humor. So, stop it. I'm like, okay. But some people do. They like it. They say, don't give me the boring crap. I like your stuff. So I started a group, and I would write 2 emails. One was the just the facts, ma'am, kind of Joe Friday version. And then there was the, chocolate chip version. I would send certain people. And so I started 2 groups in my Outlook. And one of them was called Secret Humor Group. So that's how that started. And so when I was about to ready to retire, I said, I've got to do something. I'm going to start this on Facebook, and I'll move these people over here. And I've grown quite a bit now, 300 some people. I can't believe that. But so they belong to Uncle Carl's Secret Humor Group, and you cannot be offended because if you are, you won't last long. Yeah. First thing when new people come in, the inmates that are already there try to initiate them.
And I love how everybody kind of tries to one up each other.
Yeah. If somebody sends a welcome with Jack Nicholson's face through the door, welcome, whatever, somebody else has to send something even worse to them. I'm like, oh my God, you guys are scaring me. And I started this damn group. What's wrong with you? So yeah, if you last through that, and some people have not. Some people have lasted one day and they're like, whoa, I'm out of here. You guys are. But if you last do that, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
So trial
But,
by fire.
I mean, I have a twisted sense of humor, as you guys can tell.
You're great in there.
You know what? I grew up with an abnormal life. I'm gonna always be an abnormal person. So
You're more than welcome to be in there. Then
there is nothing normal about my life. Trust me. And if I'm gonna be a stuck-up person, then that's just a waste of time.
As I told people that I counseled for many years, it's okay to be weird. Don't try to win an award in it or anything, okay? But it's okay.
I thrive on weird.
Well, this has been very nice, Willow.
Yes, it has. Thank you very much. All right, guys. So you guys can catch me with the Hanging with Web group. I am the program director, and I promise you there will be a poster of the shows for tomorrow, because Tuesday is one of our busiest days. And you can also catch me Sunday, every second Sunday on Cryptic Crunch. I'm not sure if there's going to be a Reels and Heels this week. I'm going to talk to Nicole and Brian, because they should be coming back soon.
Nicole always looks so tired. Poor Nicole.
She's always busy. I miss them though. Like I miss doing Reels and Heels with them. Stay tuned. There will be more Reels and Heels hopefully soon, but I'm going to end the show with our little video.
I'm GW Pomager.
I'm Dina Marie.
I'm Sage Ia.
I'm Thomas Carter Rochester.
Hey, I'm David Thompson.
Hi, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Mia.
Hi, I'm Mark.
Hey there, this is Dave Adams.
Hi, I'm Rosemary Rose.
Jerome Conner here.
Hey guys, it's Josh Bauer.
Willow Schuyler.
I'm Cosplay Michael.
Abba.
It's your boy Country.
I'm Ryan Permison.
And I'd like to ask you guys,
please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please
subscribe.
Subscribe.
Please subscribe to HWWS
Web TV.
Great bunch of people.
And don't forget to smash the bell.
Ring that bell.
Smash that bell.
Hit that bell.
Hit the bell to be notified.
Hit the bell to get notified of new shows
and videos.
You're going to want to do that, so do that soon. So we can cross that 20,000 mark.
And get us to 100,000 subscribers.
To 1 million, and 10 million, and 100 million.
On HWWS.
Web TV.
You really like it. I guarantee it.
Thank you.